Have you ever blurted out something and instantly wished you could rewind time? We've all experienced that moment when your words feel like an arrow you can't retract. But imagine if you could master your speech so that every word you utter reflects wisdom, finesse, and inner strength. That's precisely what we're exploring. 6 things an intelligent person never says, all inspired by the timeless philosophy of Stoicism. Stoicism teaches us that words aren't merely sounds, they're reflections of your intellect and values. From avoiding meaningless boasting to embracing the power of silence, these habits not only shape how you communicate but also define who you are. By the end of this exploration, you'll have practical insights to immediately elevate the way you speak, whether it's at work, with friends, or even in your inner dialogue. This isn't just about what you say, it's about how your words shape who you are. These insights can help you cultivate a more mindful, intentional, and impactful communication style, enhancing both your personal and professional relationships. First and foremost, avoid boasting about knowledge. Have you ever met someone who couldn't stop talking about their knowledge and accomplishments? They'd go on and on about everything they know, the lessons they've learned, and even the books they've read. At first, you might be impressed, but over time, that initial fascination morphs into distance, not because their knowledge lacks value, but because the way they showcase it makes others feel overshadowed. Those who constantly boast about their knowledge may be seeking validation or attention from others. They may feel insecure about their abilities and use boasting as a way to compensate for these feelings. Stoic philosophy emphasizes that true wisdom doesn't need to flaunt itself. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Nature does not boast about what it creates, and neither should we take credit for our wisdom." This isn't just advice, it's a way of life. The Stoic philosophy emphasizes that true wisdom comes from humility, self-awareness, and the ability to listen to and learn from others. Boasting, on the other hand, is seen as a sign of arrogance and a lack of self-control. I once knew a friend named John, an expert in the tech field. In meetings or gatherings, JN always tried to be the smartest person in the room. He'd talk about major projects he'd worked on, the complex technologies he'd mastered, and even the awards he'd won. At first, people were captivated, but over time, they began to feel like John was turning every conversation into a personal showcase. The Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of leading by example and inspiring others through your actions, rather than through empty words or self-promotion. This involves demonstrating integrity, compassion, and a commitment to serving others. One day, a colleague candidly told him that while his knowledge was impressive, his approach to sharing it was alienating others. That moment was a turning point for John, as he realized that in trying to impress, he was unintentionally pushing people away. The Stoic emphasis on humility and self-awareness encourages you to reflect on their actions, identify their shortcomings, and strive for continuous improvement. This involves seeking feedback from others, being open to criticism, and being willing to change your behavior when necessary. This is a common trap that many people fall into. When you feel compelled to share your knowledge or accomplishments, ask yourself why. If your goal is to help others or contribute to a conversation, that's great, but if it's to seek admiration or recognition, it's time to reconsider. Stoic emphasizes the importance of acting with intention and purpose, and making choices that are aligned with your values and principles. This involves being mindful of your motivations and ensuring that your actions are guided by reason, rather than by emotions or external pressures. When you boast, you not only devalue your words but also create an invisible barrier between yourself and others. Instead of inspiring people, you make them feel judged or measured against your intellect. This behavior can create resentment and distance, making it difficult to build meaningful relationships and foster collaboration. Stoic philosophy offers a solution. First, let your actions speak louder than your words. If you truly possess knowledge, it will naturally show through your work and how you solve problems. Stoic emphasis on the importance of living in accordance with nature, which involves understanding the laws and principles that govern the universe and aligning your actions with these principles. This requires knowledge, wisdom, and a willingness to learn and grow. Secondly, practice humility. Humility doesn't mean downplaying your abilities, it means allowing others to discover your value through interaction and experience. Stoicism encourages you to approach life with a sense of humility, recognizing that they are not superior to others and that they have much to learn from the world around them. This involves treating others with respect and kindness, regardless of their background or status, and being open to new ideas and perspectives. Finally, listen. When you listen, you don't just learn from others, but you also show respect and build deeper connections. Listening is a form of silence that Stoics consider incredibly powerful. Stoic emphasizes the importance of being present in the moment and fully engaged in your interactions with others. This involves paying attention to what others are saying, both verbally and non-verbally, and responding with empathy and understanding. Silence isn't a lack of knowledge, it's a sign of confidence and understanding. Those who are truly wise often speak less and listen more, recognizing that they have much to learn from the world around them. John learned this lesson slowly but deeply. He began talking less about himself and paying more attention to the stories and ideas of others. Instead of trying to dominate conversations, he shifted to contributing humbly and listening more. Over time, people started seeking him out, not just for his intelligence but for the sincerity and collaborative spirit he brought. He proved that knowledge isn't meant to be flaunted but to be shared in a way that elevates the community. Sharing knowledge in a respectful and collaborative manner, you can foster intellectual growth, build strong relationships, and contribute to the greater good. Avoiding boasting doesn't mean denying yourself the chance to share your knowledge, it means presenting it in a way that makes others feel respected and connected. This involves sharing your insights with humility, empathy, and a genuine desire to help others. Stoic philosophy teaches us that your words reflect your inner character. When you choose humility over arrogance, you enrich not just your life but also the lives of those around you. This involves treating others with respect, kindness, and compassion, regardless of their background or status, and striving to create a more inclusive and equitable world. Ask yourself, what do your words say about you? The answer will shape your path to growth. By adopting a more humble and collaborative approach to communication, you can transform your relationships, enhance your personal growth, and make a positive impact on the world around you. Secondly, never dismiss others' opinions. Have you ever felt overlooked in a conversation where your opinion was dismissed before you even had the chance to explain it? It's a painful feeling, as though all your effort and thought were being disregarded. The worst part? You might even start to question yourself, is what I'm saying really not valuable? This behavior can stifle creativity, innovation, and collaboration, as people become hesitant to share their ideas for fear of being dismissed or ridiculed. I know this feeling all too well because I've been the one causing it. Early in my leadership role at work, I was confident in my ability to make quick judgments. During one meeting, a colleague suggested an idea to improve our workflow. Without thinking twice, I interrupted, dismissing it as impractical. I thought I was saving everyone time. What I didn't realize was the eerie silence that followed, the hesitant glances from others, and the way the meeting continued with little enthusiasm for further ideas. Those who consistently dismiss the opinions of others may be struggling with their own insecurities or feelings of inadequacy. Their behavior is often a defense mechanism, used to protect themselves from feeling threatened or challenged by others. Afterward, a trusted colleague gently told me, maybe you should have listened a bit longer. That idea wasn't as bad as it sounded at first. That comment hit me like a wake-up call. Not only had I lost an opportunity, but I had also unintentionally created a culture of reluctance within my team. I realized that my actions had created a negative environment where people felt discouraged from sharing their thoughts and ideas. Stoic philosophy teaches us that true wisdom comes from openness, not arrogance. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You cannot learn what you think you already know." Dismissing someone's opinion without listening isn't just shutting the door on creativity but also undermining trust and connection. True wisdom involves recognizing the limits of your own knowledge and being open to new perspectives and insights. This requires humility, curiosity, and a willingness to challenge your own assumptions and beliefs. This doesn't just cost you valuable ideas, it weakens your own leadership. A leader who dismisses the opinions of others creates a culture of fear and distrust, where people are afraid to speak up and challenge the status quo. A leader who values and encourages diverse perspectives, on the other hand, can foster innovation, collaboration, and a sense of shared purpose. From that experience, I began to change how I approached conversations. In subsequent meetings, I reminded myself that listening doesn't mean agreeing. Listening is about giving respect and opening yourself to learning, even if the idea doesn't initially seem viable. Listening is an active process that involves paying attention, asking questions, and seeking to understand the other person's perspective. It requires setting aside your own biases and assumptions and being open to new ideas and possibilities. To my surprise, by adopting a curious mindset, my team started contributing breakthrough solutions that I had never considered. I realized that by creating a safe and supportive environment where people felt valued and respected, I was unlocking their full potential. Here's a shift in perspective to try. Instead of thinking, how can I counter this idea, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Even seemingly flawed ideas can contain valuable insights, and if not, you still gain a better understanding of how someone else views the problem, and that understanding in itself has value. This involves approaching every conversation with a spirit of curiosity, seeking to understand the other person's point of view, and being open to new ideas and perspectives. Secondly, practice humility. Stoicism reminds us that we are not the center of the universe. Dismissing someone else's opinion is, at its core, an act of placing your viewpoint above all others, as if only you hold the ultimate truth. But the reality is, no single person has all the answers. True wisdom lies in collaboration and the exchange of ideas. The Stoic philosophy encourages you to cultivate a sense of interconnectedness, recognizing that you are part of a larger community and that your actions have an impact on others. This involves treating others with respect, kindness, and compassion, and seeking to create a more just and equitable world. After I changed my approach, the atmosphere in our meetings shifted. I started asking more questions and encouraging even the quietest team members to share their thoughts. The result? Not only did we generate better ideas, but the team also felt more respected and connected. The Stoic emphasis on reason and logic encourages you to approach every situation with a clear and objective mind, seeking to understand the facts and make decisions based on sound judgment. This involves setting aside your emotions and biases and being open to new information and perspectives. I realized that everyone, in their own way, has something to teach me, something I had been missing because of my own impatience and overconfidence. By cultivating a curious and open mind, you can unlock new insights, enhance your personal growth, and make a positive impact on the world around you. In the end, refusing to dismiss others' opinions isn't just an act of kindness, it's a strategy. When you respect the perspectives of those around you, you open the door to endless ideas, insights, and opportunities. You build trust and create an environment where real innovation can thrive. By valuing the opinions of others, you create a culture of respect, trust, and collaboration, where everyone feels empowered to contribute their best ideas. As Stoics believe, wisdom isn't about proving you're right, it's about understanding that everyone, in their unique way, carries a piece of the truth, and that is the essence of true wisdom. It's a journey of continuous learning, growth, and collaboration, where everyone has the opportunity to contribute their unique talents and perspectives. Thirdly, refrain from complaining without purpose. Imagine someone like Peter, a middle-aged professional with years of experience under his belt. Peter has a lot on his plate, managing work deadlines, dealing with family responsibilities, and navigating the inevitable hiccups life throws at him. But instead of tackling these challenges constructively, Peter has developed a habit of constant complaining. He's always expressing dissatisfaction, disappointment, or annoyance, often about minor or trivial matters. From the inefficiency of his coworkers to how the coffee machine at work always seems to be out of order, Peter's grievances know no bounds. Those who constantly complain without purpose may be seeking attention or sympathy from others. They may feel helpless or powerless to change their circumstances and use complaining as a way to vent their frustrations. At first, his colleagues sympathized, even offering solutions, but as weeks turned into months, the negativity wore them down. Conversations with Peter became draining, and people started avoiding him, not because they didn't care, but because they simply couldn't handle the constant stream of complaints. Complaining is often a learned behavior, influenced by factors such as family dynamics, social environment, and cultural norms. People who grow up in environments where complaining is common may be more likely to adopt this behavior themselves. One day, during a lunch break, a friend said something that stopped Peter in his tracks. "Peter, I understand your frustration, but what are you doing to fix these problems?" The question lingered. Peter realized he wasn't looking for solutions, he was venting without purpose. Worse, his constant negativity was not only alienating others but also reinforcing his own sense of helplessness. Complaining can be a way of avoiding responsibility or taking action to address problems. People who complain frequently may be reluctant to confront difficult issues or make necessary changes in their lives. This scenario is all too common. It's easy to fall into the trap of expressing frustrations without considering the impact on others or ourselves. The Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of taking responsibility for your thoughts, actions, and emotions, and making conscious choices that align with your values and goals. Stoic philosophy offers a powerful antidote: focus on what you can control and release what you cannot. Marcus Aurelius, one of Stoicism's greatest thinkers, wisely wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Complaining, especially about things beyond our control, only magnifies feelings of powerlessness, trapping us in a loop of negativity. Complaining can be a form of self-sabotage, reinforcing negative beliefs and limiting your potential for success. However, not all complaints are inherently bad. When framed with a purpose, they can drive positive change, but when they lack direction, complaints become noise, empty words that sap energy and solve nothing. Complaining can create a negative self-fulfilling prophecy, where you focus on the problems and overlook the opportunities for growth and improvement. Think about it: complaining about traffic doesn't clear the roads, and grumbling about the weather won't stop the rain. Intelligent people understand this distinction and channel their energy into what truly matters. The Stoic emphasis on reason and logic encourages you to approach every situation with a clear and objective mind, seeking to understand the facts and make decisions based on sound judgment. So how can you break free from the habit of pointless complaining? Start by asking yourself one simple question whenever frustration arises: what can I do about this? If the answer is nothing, then let it go. Venting about uncontrollable situations not only wastes time but also robs you of inner peace. Refocusing on your goals, values, and priorities, you can channel your energy into meaningful activities and create a life that is aligned with your aspirations. Redirect that energy towards something constructive: read, reflect, or practice gratitude for the things that are going well in your life. By focusing on the positive aspects of your life, you can cultivate a sense of appreciation and contentment, which can help to offset the negative effects of complaining. Another strategy is to reframe your perspective. Instead of asking, "Why does this always happen to me?" try asking, "What can I learn from this?" Stoicism teaches us that every challenge presents an opportunity for growth. Complaints blind us to these opportunities, while reflection helps us uncover them. Returning to Peter, he took his friend's advice to heart and began shifting his mindset. Instead of complaining about his manager, he started preparing thoughtful solutions to the challenges he faced at work. Instead of grumbling about his commute, he listened to audiobooks or practiced mindfulness during traffic jams. Cultivating a growth mindset can help you to overcome obstacles, build resilience, and achieve your goals. Over time, his outlook changed. His words carried more weight because they were no longer filled with negativity. His relationships improved, and his colleagues began seeking his advice and company, drawn to his calm, solution-focused demeanor. By focusing on solutions and taking action, you can transform your life and create a more positive and fulfilling future. Ultimately, refraining from purposeless complaints is about reclaiming your power. When you focus on what you can control, you not only strengthen your mind but also enhance your influence on those around you. The Stoic emphasis on self-mastery encourages you to take control of your thoughts, emotions, and actions, and to live in accordance with your values and principles. Stoic philosophy reminds us that our words and thoughts are tools. Used wisely, they can build a life of resilience, purpose, and connection with others. When you let go of empty complaints and embrace constructive action, you not only change how others perceive you, you transform your own life. By focusing on solutions, taking action, and cultivating a positive mindset, you can overcome challenges, achieve your goals, and create a life that is aligned with your values and aspirations. Next, no empty promises. Promises hold a unique weight in our lives. They shape expectations, build trust, and define relationships. Yet how often do we find ourselves making promises lightly, without fully considering whether we can follow through? People may make promises to gain acceptance or approval from others. They may believe that agreeing to everything will make them seem helpful, likable, or indispensable. This habit, while often unintentional, can erode credibility and weaken connections. The Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of aligning our words with our actions, emphasizing that integrity is not in saying much but in delivering what we say. People may make promises without fully understanding the implications or time commitment involved. They may underestimate the effort required to fulfill their obligations, leading to missed deadlines and broken commitments. Let's consider a man named Greg, a 50-something professional juggling a demanding career and family responsibilities. Greg was well-meaning but often overcommit himself. People may make promises without considering their own needs, values, or priorities. They may feel pressured to say yes to everything, even when it means sacrificing their own well-being or neglecting other important aspects of their lives. He'd promise his team that he'd review their reports by Monday or assure his family he'd be home in time for dinner, only to fall short time and again. People may make promises impulsively, without taking the time to think through their options or evaluate the potential consequences of their actions. They may act on emotions or fleeting desires, rather than on reason and sound judgment. At first, people excused his behavior, seeing it as the result of his busy schedule, but as the unfulfilled promises piled up, so did the frustrations. His team began to second-guess his commitments, and his family grew weary of his constant excuses. Greg's words, once taken at face value, now carried an undertone of doubt. People may make promises to avoid conflict or confrontation. They may believe that agreeing to everything will keep the peace and prevent disagreements from escalating. One evening, after missing yet another family event, his teenage daughter left a note on his desk that read, "We just want you to mean it when you say it." That simple message struck a chord. Greg realized that while he had the best intentions, his empty promises were doing more harm than good, eroding the trust and respect he worked so hard to build. This story highlights a key Stoic principle: speak with intention and act with integrity. Empty promises can damage relationships, erode trust, and undermine your credibility. By aligning your words with your actions, you can build strong, meaningful connections with others and create a life that is aligned with your values and aspirations. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Let your words be plain and true." This teacher reminds us that promises are not just about appeasing the moment, they are commitments that tie our words to our character. Breaking a promise, even unintentionally, is like writing a check your credibility can't cash. Promises are a reflection of your values, character, and intentions. By honoring your commitments, you demonstrate integrity, reliability, and respect for others. So how can we avoid making empty promises while still nurturing trust and respect? Start by pausing before you commit. Ask yourself, do I have the time, resources, and energy to fulfill this promise? If the answer is uncertain, it's better to set realistic expectations than to overpromise and underdeliver. For instance, instead of saying, I'll definitely have this ready by tomorrow. Try, I'll aim to have it ready by tomorrow, but if I need more time, I'll let you know. The key is to approach every commitment with a clear and objective mind, considering the potential consequences of your actions and making choices that are aligned with your values and priorities. Another strategy is to practice under-promising and over-delivering. By setting achievable goals and occasionally exceeding them, you not only avoid disappointing appointments but also build a reputation for reliability. Approaching every situation with honesty, transparency, and a willingness to take responsibility for your actions. The Stoic emphasizes the importance of living in accordance with nature, which involves understanding the laws and principles that govern the universe and aligning your actions with these principles. Imagine Greg telling his team he'd need 3 days to review their reports but completing them in 2. Such actions speak volumes, demonstrating competence and thoughtfulness. The key is to set realistic expectations, manage your time effectively, and prioritize your commitments to ensure that you can deliver on your promises. Lastly, embrace accountability. If you ever find yourself unable to keep a promise, address it head-on. Apologize sincerely, explain the situation briefly, and propose a solution. Apologizing sincerely demonstrates humility, empathy, and a willingness to take responsibility for your actions. This approach not only minimizes the damage but also shows respect for the other person's time and trust. Explaining the situation briefly provides context and helps the other person understand why you were unable to fulfill your commitment, without making excuses or shifting blame. Greg took these lessons to heart. He became more mindful of his commitments, saying no when necessary and ensuring he could deliver on his yes. Proposing a solution demonstrates your commitment to resolving the issue and minimizing the inconvenience caused by your actions. Over time, his team regained their trust in him, and his family began to see his efforts as genuine. What's more, Greg noticed a change in himself, a sense of peace that came from knowing his words carried weight and his actions backed them up. Maintaining a clear and open line of communication, you can build trust, strengthen relationships, and create a more collaborative and productive environment. In the end, avoiding empty promises is not about being perfect, it's about being authentic and dependable. Stoic philosophy teaches us that true strength lies in living with integrity, where words and actions align seamlessly. This involves living in accordance with your values and principles, and being true to yourself and others in all your interactions. By committing to this principle, you not only earn respect but also create deeper, more meaningful relationships. After all, it's not the promises we make that define us, it's the ones we keep. By setting realistic expectations, prioritizing your commitments, and embracing accountability, you can avoid making empty promises and build strong, meaningful relationships based on trust and respect. Before moving on to the next one, if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel with the notification bell on so you don't miss future videos. If you're as passionate about this kind of content as I am, leave a comment saying, "I love this wisdom." Let's continue. Fifth, don't deny your mistakes. Have you ever felt that admitting a mistake is like exposing your weaknesses for everyone to judge? Those who consistently deny their mistakes may be struggling with their own insecurities or feelings of inadequacy. Admitting a mistake is not about exposing your weaknesses, but about demonstrating your strength, honesty, and self-awareness. I used to think that too, but one experience changed my perspective completely. Through Stoic philosophy, I learned that admitting your mistakes doesn't diminish your worth, instead, it elevates you as someone who is honest and strong. Demonstrating a willingness to learn and grow from your experiences, and setting an example for others to follow. Marcus Aurelius once said, "If someone is able to prove me wrong and show me my mistake in any thought or action, I will gladly change. For it is the truth I seek, and the truth never harmed anyone." The goal is not to avoid making mistakes, but to learn from them and use them as opportunities for growth and improvement. Let me share a personal story. A few years ago, I was leading a major project at work. In my rush to meet a tight deadline, I overlooked some critical details in a report. As a result, the those inaccuracies caused my team to face criticism from upper management. Maintaining a clear and objective perspective, seeking to understand the facts and make decisions based on sound judgment. When the mistake came to light, my first instinct was to make excuses, blame the workload, the tight timeline, anything but myself. Deep down, however, I knew that would only erode the trust one had worked so hard to build. Taking responsibility, and seeking to make amends for any harm caused by your actions. Instead, I chose to confront the situation. At the next meeting, I admitted my mistake, apologized to my team, and outlined clear steps to ensure it wouldn't happen again. Taking responsibility demonstrates your commitment to your values and principles, and sets an example for others to follow. The response was unexpected. Instead of judgment, my colleagues appreciate my honesty. Some even thanked me for taking accountability and setting an example. Admitting your mistakes can create a ripple effect of positivity, inspiring others to be more honest, accountable, and compassionate in their own lives. I realized then that admitting my mistake didn't weaken me, it made me more trustworthy. Embracing the Stoic philosophy can help you to cultivate a sense of resilience, self-awareness, and ethical leadership, and to create a more positive and meaningful impact on the world around you. Why is owning up to mistakes so powerful? Because it breaks down walls of defensiveness and builds trust. By taking responsibility, you send a strong message that you value truth over your ego. You also create a safe environment where others feel comfortable admitting their mistakes and working toward solutions. The importance of building strong, trusting relationships with others, and acting with integrity, compassion, and a commitment to serving others. But let's be real, admitting a mistake is not always easy. We fear being judged or losing respect. The Stoic emphasis on cultivating inner strength and resilience, and acting with courage, wisdom, and a commitment to living in accordance with nature. Yet think about this, does denying an obvious mistake actually improve your image, or does it make you look unreliable? Lying or deception can damage relationships, erode trust, and undermine your credibility. By embracing the truth, you can build strong, meaningful connections with others and create a life that is aligned with your values and aspirations. Remember, the courage to admit your faults is a sign of confidence. It shows you are strong enough to face the truth and committed to getting better. By cultivating self-awareness, honesty, and a willingness to learn and grow from your experiences, you can transform your life and make a positive impact on the world around you. So how can you apply this lesson in your life? Start by practicing self-awareness. When something goes wrong, resist the urge to point fingers, and instead ask yourself, what was my role in this? Even if your share of the blame is small, owning it is the first step towards a solution. This may involve reflecting on your actions, identifying your shortcomings, and seeking feedback from others to gain a more objective perspective. Next, focus on fixing the problem. Don't just apologize and move on, demonstrate through your actions that you're working to make things right. This may involve taking concrete steps to correct your mistake, compensating for any harm caused by your actions, and implementing measures to prevent similar mistakes from happening in the future. Stoic philosophy reminds us that mistakes are not failures but opportunities to learn and grow. Those who have the courage to admit their errors don't just improve themselves, they inspire those around them. Learning from your mistakes is essential for personal growth and development. It involves identifying the underlying causes of your errors, developing strategies for preventing them in the future, and using your experiences to become a better version of yourself. When you learn to face your mistakes, you're laying a foundation of respect and trust. The act of taking responsibility for your actions, apologizing sincerely, and committing to making things right can build trust, strengthen relationships, and enhance your credibility. The next time you make a mistake, don't hide or deflect. Pause, take responsibility, and commit to doing better. It's not about dwelling on the past or beating yourself up over your mistakes, but about learning from them and moving forward with greater wisdom and self-awareness. Remember, the courage to admit your mistakes is what truly sets you apart and earns you respect. By embracing honesty, accountability, and a commitment to continuous improvement, you can transform your life and make a positive impact on the world around you. Sixth and finally, don't overshare future plans. The Stoics emphasize that keeping promises isn't just about fulfilling obligations, it's about protecting your credibility and respecting others. Oversharing can undermine your credibility if you frequently change your mind or fail to follow through on your plans. Empty promises, no matter how small they seem at the moment, can slowly chip away at your reputation and trustworthiness. Oversharing can create unrealistic expectations for yourself and others, leading to disappointment and frustration when you fail to meet them. Let me share a story that might sound familiar. Meet Jim, a middle-aged professional with a warm demeanor and a tendency to agree to almost anything people ask of him. People who overshare may be seeking attention, validation, or approval from others. They may believe that sharing their plans will make them seem interesting, exciting, or important. Whether it was helping a friend move, volunteering for an extra project at work, or promising to attend every community event, Jim had a default response: "Sure, count me in." Oversharing can diminish your sense of privacy and vulnerability, making you more susceptible to criticism, judgment, or even manipulation. But as life got busier, those well-intentioned agreements began to pile up, and he started forgetting or failing to show up. People who overshare may be struggling with their own insecurities, anxieties, or fears. Sharing their plans may be a way of seeking reassurance, support, or guidance from others. One day, a close friend invited Jim to an important family dinner. Jim, as usual, agreed enthusiastically but later forgot and scheduled a work meeting at the same time. Oversharing can lead to a loss of focus and productivity, as you become distracted by managing external expectations and responding to the needs of others. The day after the dinner, his friend told him how disappointed their family was. It was a wake-up call for Jim. He realized his words, meant to please in the moment, were causing more harm than good. His promises, though not malicious, had become hollow, and they were damaging the relationships he cared most about. People who are more guarded and selective in what they share tend to be more respected and trusted by others. This scenario highlights a common trap: sometimes we overcommit to avoid awkwardness or to appear agreeable, but the Stoics teach us that words should be purposeful and aligned with our actions. Maintaining a sense of mystery, intrigue, and self-control can enhance your personal power and influence. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it; if it is not true, do not say it." In other words, authenticity and intention should guide every promise you make. Being mindful of your words and actions, and aligning them with your values and principles. Saying yes without conviction often stems from a fear of disappointing others, but what actually causes more harm is failing to follow through. The Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of integrity, honesty, and authenticity, and of living in accordance with your values and principles. So how do you avoid making empty promises? Start with a pause. Before agreeing to something, take a moment to consider whether it aligns with your priorities and whether you can realistically fulfill it. Taking the time to pause, reflect, and consider the potential consequences of your actions before making a decision. If not, a respectful no can be far more valuable than a hesitant yes that never materializes. People appreciate honesty and clarity over vague commitments that lead to frustration. Practicing assertiveness, and communicating your needs, boundaries, and limitations with clarity, respect, and confidence. Next, prioritize quality over quantity. It's better to commit to fewer things and do them well than to spread yourself too thin and let others down. Committing to fewer projects, but dedicating your full attention and energy to ensuring their success. When you say you'll do something, do it with intention and excellence. This approach builds a reputation for reliability and respect. Cultivating a sense of focus, discipline, and attention to detail, and striving for excellence in everything you do. Finally, understand that saying no is not selfish, it's self-awareness. The Stoics believed in focusing on what is within your control, and spreading yourself too thin diminishes your ability to deliver on promises that truly matter. protecting your time, energy, and resources, and using them wisely to pursue your goals and priorities. When you keep your commitments intentional and deliberate, you protect your integrity and maintain trust. Saying no is not about being selfish or inconsiderate, but about prioritizing your own needs and well-being. As Jim reflected on his wake-up call, he started adopting a more mindful approach. He began saying no to requests he couldn't genuinely accommodate and focused on delivering on the commitments that mattered most. Maintaining a clear sense of boundaries, and protecting your time, energy, and resources from those who would exploit or deplete them. Over time, his relationships improved, and people came to respect him, not for saying yes to everything but for always following through on what he agreed to. Taking responsibility for your commitments, and ensuring that you honor your promises and obligations. In the end, avoiding empty promises is about more than keeping your word, it's about aligning your actions with your values and creating deeper, more meaningful connections. The Stoic emphasis on integrity, honesty, and authenticity, and striving to live in accordance with your values and principles. The Stoics remind us that every word we speak shapes how others see us and how we see ourselves. Striving to be true to yourself and others in all your interactions. So the next time someone asks you for a commitment, take a breath, reflect, and ensure your promise is one you can honor fully. That's not just wisdom, it's strength. By avoiding oversharing and making only deliberate and intentional commitments, you can protect your credibility, respect others, and build strong, meaningful relationships. In short, mastering your speech is a journey toward wisdom and self-mastery. By avoiding boasting, respecting others' opinions, refraining from purposeless complaints, keeping promises, admitting mistakes, and being selective in what you share, you not only elevate how others perceive you, you transform your own character. Practicing self-awareness, humility, and a commitment to integrity, you can cultivate a more mindful, intentional, and impactful communication style, enhancing both your personal and professional relationships. I would love to hear about your journey and triumphs. Please hit subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and leave a comment below to share your story, your successes, and even the challenges you've overcome. If you're not sure what to comment, just write, "I love this," to show that you've completed this session. Your engagement helps this community grow toward wisdom and the art of turning every challenge into an opportunity. The power of words to shape your character, influence your relationships, and create a life that is aligned with your values and aspirations. I'll leave 2 more videos here so you can continue learning and growing on your personal development journey. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. It's through these small, intentional choices that you cultivate a life of integrity, purpose, and lasting fulfillment.